Welcome guys to the first episode of this series where basically I'm going to be showing you guys some tips and tricks for you new guys new to Overwatch, because you know, as of last week, console players actually did have the ability to try out Overwatch for free, those who haven't had purchased it. So basically what this kind of guide is going to be is for them, the new people to Overwatch. For those of you who have been playing already for a while, you guys aren't going to need it. Mei is a character that can basically be used to stall time if used correctly, or basically just control points really. Now, one big issue with Mei, with new players or even people who have been using her for a while, is the fact that she can put up an ice wall, but what most people don't know is that you can actually put down this ice wall as well. It can be broken. Now, what I mean by this is the fact that if Mei puts up the ice wall, she can also put it back down. This is good in situations as to where maybe you put an ice wall you didn't mean to, or maybe you block someone's ult. Let's say Pharaoh's ult, you blocked it, and you can easily just bring back the ice wall down and, you know, not kill her in the process. The amount of times that this happened to me and multiple people is outrageous. Next up on the list is Zarya's bubble, or I really don't know what you would call this. But basically, what that bubble can do is it protects you or anyone who you apply it to, but what most people don't know what it does is it takes off any debuffs that you currently have. For example, Zenyatta's Orb of Discord, which basically gives you 30% more damage depending on who hits you. Not depending on who hits you. You're going to get 30% damage no matter who hits you. Another example is when Mei is freezing you. You could easily cancel that out. Now, an example of this is being shown right in front of you, where this Roadhog is basically being frozen, and you can tell because its movements are being slowed down. And I apply it to him, and he's able to get out safely, and at the same time protect himself because he is actually pretty low. So the next thing we're going to be talking about at number 3 is going to be Mei's and Zarya's ults, where basically they don't activate until they hit something. For example, Zarya's ults won't start until it has direct impact, while as to where Mei's ult won't start until it hits the floor. So these two can be used as to catch someone off surprise, or to basically get some people to fall off the map. Those who don't have vertical mobility, they can easily be stuck to the side of a doorway, or, you know, just unexpectedly Mei's ult comes down, or Zarya's ult. Now, this actually would be a lot easier with Mei's ult because of the recent buff, as to where her ultimate was raised from 8 meters to 10 meters, which is really helpful for her. As to where Zarya's ult, it has a much smaller radius, so you won't really catch many people unless it's really well timed. The fourth tip is going to be really simple. It's basically, do you know those hybrid maps, the Pavlo maps that you guys play, where, you know, Hollywood, Dorado, any of those? Well, actually, the Pavlo moves faster depending on how many people are on it, or near it, I should say. Now, the highest that the Pavlo can move is 3 people. So what you could do potentially is have 3 people on the Pavlo to make it move as fast as it can, and have 3 people move on ahead, especially if you're following the standard 2 tanks, 2 DPS, and 2 healers. You could just keep 1 healer, 1 tank, and 1 DPS behind, and leave the other half to go up ahead and clear the path, or, you know, just allow free movements. Now, splitting the team up might not be something you want to do, so don't spread off too far, but to a reasonable point as to where, you know, you won't allow the opposite team to set up in a good position. The 5th tip is going to be to listen for sounds. Now, I know how ridiculous this sounds. Like, what? I could already hear. I don't need to, no one needs to tell me this. But the weird thing is that if you hadn't noticed, every character, except for Zenyatta, has a certain type of footstep. And you actually hear your opponent's footsteps louder than your allies' footsteps. You actually hear your enemy's footsteps louder than your allies' footsteps. Hearing the footsteps makes it easier to tell if an enemy is coming or if an enemy is near you, especially the tankier heroes, because they have louder footsteps. All the tanks and even some DPS such as Junkrat or Reaper, you could easily tell where they're coming from because of their loud footsteps. Usually this is Reaper when he is trying to use his Death Blossom right behind your team to get a 5-man kill. And you could easily prevent this by hearing not only his footsteps, but when he teleports behind you, there is a certain sound effect. Which, if you want to know what it is, here it is.
From the shadows, death comes. Repositioning.
Alright guys, that's gonna be it for this video. If you guys did enjoy or learn something, consider leaving a like and subscribing for future episodes. And I do suspect that most of you guys will know these because these are pretty basic things. But as I said earlier, considering that people have bought the game on console recently because of last week, most of them aren't going to know everything. So yeah guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Goodbye.